afternoon and welcome back to just a little bit of live practice with me. And the focus this evening after work is to give yourself a little bit of healing energy into the muscles and the tissues of your back. So for that reason we are mat based. Okay, so make sure you're warm enough and lower yourself gently down onto the mat. Settle in, release the arms, release the shoulders. Semi-supine is usually a much safer and more comfortable position for the natural curves of the spine. So I'm just altering the trousers. They've got rather tightly caught around my legs, as leggings do. And as you lay the arms out, settle here, maybe bring the back of the skull onto the earth or a cushion, look up to the sky. Nice deep exhale through the mouth, in through the nose. Sigh the breath out through the mouth. Now I'm turning my head just to look at you all, but you will keep your head really centred. Make sure you melt those shoulders from the ears. So when you bring your arms out into a T shape, it's not really that they're overhead. It's sometimes nicer, palms up to sky, to have the arms in a low V. So really focus on melting the shoulders from the ears. As I said, eyes to the horizon, back skull heavy. So let's fold the right thigh into the chest. But as you fold it in, don't necessarily tug it. As the thigh folds into the chest, just feel the back body receive the earth differently. So it will bring your spine into mild flexion. And then release it, take the foot down, same with the left. Draw the left thigh into the chest, hip comes into flexion. Just let it fold in. And you might want to do that a few times. Just notice how that feels. As that thigh folds into you, it's just going as far as it can. It's dropping in, the lower leg is relaxed. Feeling the weight of the leg just compress onto the belly. It's almost like a little walking motion. Okay, we're going to let that right thigh stay there now. Take hold of the shin or the back of the thigh and slide the left leg down the mat. So you've got this lovely sense of differentiation between space coming over your left hip and thigh, and you can of course draw down on those leg bones so you get more compression, more feeling of space perhaps coming in the back of the sit bone into the hamstrings here. And then your choice as to whether you inhale or exhale and lift the head, neck and shoulders, draw the chin to the chest, adding to the flexion. Depends how flexible you are as to whether your face meets with that knee, and then release it down. But another option would be to have that left foot on the mat, and as you exhale, just draw the folded leg bones into your body, into your chest. So you can see I'm just using a really subtle movement here, exhaling as the thigh and the leg muscles draw in and the bones fold in. And as the sort of buttock just raises a little bit off the earth, I'm not pushing into bridge, I'm feeling the right side of the tissues just melt down into the earth. Okay, I'm going to slide that left leg away again and just place my right foot just onto my left leg. It might be the shin, it might rest a little on the knee or on the thigh. Say the legs softly roll over onto the left side of the pelvis. And as you roll, just go as far as you want to. Settle in. Maybe close the eyes. Inhale, exhale. And then roll the other way. No need to force. Roll across the low back, hips and pelvis. Maybe the lower leg softens. Maybe you speed up, maybe you slow down. Just get a lovely sense of self-massage across the sacrum and across the base. And then let's fold both knees into the chest and centre. Hands can cradle your knees, a little pelvic circle. Stirring a circle on the earth. So I'm keeping my knees and legs glued together, not in a grippy way, but just they are kissing together and then rolling in the other direction. Just trying to keep everything soothing and healing. Not really going anywhere fast this evening, just downloading the day, letting go of any tension that may have built up for whatever reason. I think I've kind of rolled myself further down the mat, so I am actually going to slide back a bit. Okay, so take the left thigh into the chest now, hug a little bit less, hug a little bit more, hold the shin, back of the thigh. You might want to curl up and hold around the inner arch of the foot. I mean, this is going to work more for those of us that are blessed with really flexible spines and a good degree of health in the spinal column. Others, as I say, may just want to draw those double folded bone legs into the chest a few times. Choose to slide your right leg away if that feels good. And you know what, if your back is feeling tense or a little tender, give some time and space to embody the position rather than always feeling you've got to rush through everything. So if you have extended out through that right leg, what's happening in the foot? Is it pointed? Is it flexed? Do you want to fold more or less? What's happened to your breathing? Could you be patient enough to let the body release? Could you let the earth receive you? So, going to let that left foot rest on the right thigh, right knee or right shin, or gently cross over the leg. Use maybe my right arm just to guide the body into this kind of 1.5 leg twist. Now, of course, your neck and the vertebrae in the neck are part of the spine. And I so often see yoga practitioners just roll the head away from the hip in the opposite direction, but without really understanding why they're doing it or what the benefit is. So let's think about this. Bring the gaze back to the sky, and why not roll the head towards the direction of the same knee? So rolling the head now to the right, because my left knee is rolled to the right. So feeling that as an alternate sensation, letting the left side of the chest open out. And then I'm going to roll back to centre, but roll the legs, both legs over to the left. It's almost like I'm trying to bring that left thigh open, like a gentle yoga tree pose. I don't have to roll that far, and I don't have to roll that fast, and neither do you. So just let yourself feel your body in movement. Feel it in a really kind and comfortable way. You might want to slow down, you might want to speed up. When you've had enough, both knees come into that chest. Hug, hug, hug. And then place your feet down, and you might just want to lift the head and neck and check that you've widened your feet so that they're a little beyond the mat or they're on the edge of the mat. And lift the bum, settle in, back to grounded. I can take my legs quite wide, you choose what's right for you. And as you lay back down, let the left thigh draw into the midline and then let the right thigh drop into the midline. This is often known as reverse butterfly. Now you can adjust so that your knees touch, but that's not essential. Or you can take your feet wider and also think about the distance of the heel from the buttock bone. And then again, you might just want to create a little bit of rolling in and out of those thigh bones. So I'm dropping my left knee in as my right thigh drops open a little distance. And then dropping my right thigh in as my left thigh drops open. So that's alternating internal rotation and external rotation of the femur bones. And then I'm going to drop both of them in. And again, feel the impact on the groins, on the outside hips, and on the lumbar back of those thighs falling into that midline in what we shall call today reverse butterfly. Breathing through, inhaling, exhaling, observing the weight of your body, calm cultivating this present moment. And then release each of those legs open again. Bring the feet, ankles and legs together. Roll onto your side and push up to sitting. And then slide around and onto the knees. And release the buttocks down towards the ankles and feet in an extended child's pose. Let breath happen in your back lungs. You might also consider folding your elbows and widening the knees. All depends on how your body receives your pose of child. And then resting the forehead on the hands, wrists or the forearms. That can also feel really soothing and healing. And then glide up onto all fours and try to experience stability and balance through both hands, both knees, strong arm columns, strong leg columns. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, slide the left arm forward and the right leg back, and just extend from the fingers to the toes. Breathing through that length, float, lift and lengthen a little more into your cat balance. And just notice some strength and mobility coming through the opposite shoulder to the opposite hip, lowering and gliding back. Quite nice to do a little wagging of the tail side to side, and even another pelvic circle, just stirring the pelvis, which can also be done with your elbows down. So really wanted to let this practice be quite soft, quite slow, meditative, mindful and gentle. Coming back for that cat balance experience on the other side. So table is stable, a steadfast table back. There's no need to pull your belly muscles in, draw the navel to the spine in some kind of scooping way, because that will tend to round your upper back. Just feel that you have stability through the circumference of the trunk. I'm going to slide my right arm, hand forward, left leg glides back. Keep the body grounded first of all. Maybe you shake out the head and neck and you release the weight of your head. And then retain a flowing breath, but elongate. Right arm, left leg, just reaching diagonally away from that stable body. Maybe hugging a few more of your muscles into that midline, and then lower and releasing. Makes sense for us at this point to come to kneeling pose, but you might not like that. Your body may want to be in a high kneeling, or you may want to come and sit onto your sit bones. I'm going to say in Vajrasana, the kneeling pose, and let the body just stack. Again, receive the new position. Vajrasana, the kneeling pose, really good for opening up space in the esophagus. Having, this is a great pose for after dinner eating or after lunch, just letting digestion occur in a really safe and comfortable way. But let's side bend. So right fingers coming out to the right or releasing into that really strong palm, extended wrist. And as you flow up through the left side, you might want to take a bent elbow here and the hand comes up towards the crown, or reach away and then maybe release the hips a little bit to the left. Your seated side bend doesn't have to look like mine, of course. Just go as far as your body allows. Left palms, fingers, or whole hand to the left. Maybe the elbow bends and you just raise the elbow up, Depends on the flexibility in your shoulders, or you extend. You might even be able to bring the left forearm down. Not essential to look up, you might prefer to look down. So complement your movement with whole body awareness. The backbone, so important to our whole feeling of health, you know, the framework, the central nervous system, all of the communication flowing along that spinal cord. The cerebral spinal fluid, health of that, also vital for all of the motor neuron systems to be running effectively. So you might stay in kneeling, or as I said, you've changed your seat. And let's finish with a seated twist. So actually I'm going to come to a cross-leg position. I usually like to sit on my block, but I'm on a padded folded blanket for this one. Restack. Let breath flow through you in a contented, satisfied way. So I'm going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, twist left. Looking over the left shoulder, retain the rotation and maybe stay there for one more round of breath as you let yourself return to the midline. Try to promote and cultivate calmness. So lovely breath in through the nose. And then exhale, rotate right, look over the right shoulder. And then as you turn, using the arms to sustain that movement that you found, and then re-enter the breath. And you can keep rotating, you know, each time you turn, just trying to find the best of yourself in this rotation.